afternoon, traders. Hopefully, everyone had a great Thanksgiving and is having a great weekend so far. Now, before we get into the show, I really do want to thank all my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys joining me on this beautiful Sunday afternoon for Eric's Sunday's Best Picks. This is the day that we, highlight three stocks going into Monday, and then we on Friday, or in this case today, we're going to go over those picks from last week's and see how they fared. Okay, so with no further ado, let's go into the three stocks that I did recommend last Sunday. We'll see how they fared, and then we'll go over that, and then we will give you my three best picks going into this week. All right, guys. All right, so BOX was the first one, if you remember from last week. If you remember, BOX, I did say watch. There's that confluence of all those moving averages right there, and any move above that 1767 would be a great time to buy. All right, so if you had done that and you bought BOX at 1767, that was the opening price on Monday. It did go as high as 1859. It did close at 1846, and so we were up 79 cents or about 4.5% in that name. All right, guys. Next stock that I did mention was STNG, and I had told you that I did own the stock from a lot lower. But if you did get in on Monday when it opened at 11.50, and then it did close at 12.21. It did get as high as 12.61, but still that close at 12.21 represents a 71-cent move, or about a 6.25% move into the upside in STNG. Lastly, the stock that did really well, performed the best. Actually, STNG outdid this one. BB, BlackBerry. BlackBerry opened at 581, got up as high as 620 at some point during the week. It did close at 615, or up 34 cents for the week, and a move of about 6%. All right, guys, that is the three stocks that we had picked: BOX, BB, and STNG. All right, guys, let's go quickly over the SPY, the Spider ETF. So I just want to bring this up real quickly before we move into the second part of the show where we give you the three stocks. So if you remember from last week's show, I said that this bear flag was forming right here, and that was because it was making lower highs. And I said it did have to hold Thursday's low right here. And sure enough, we held it on Friday. Then Monday, we just gapped right above that 10-day moving averages. And then we, luckily on Tuesday, and then obviously Wednesday, we kept moving up. And then Friday on that half day, it kind of just, moved up a little bit, but was staying flat. It looks like to me that it's getting poised for a bigger move to the upside, guys, and that's what I had said too. We needed to hold that bear flag. Now it looks like, if you take a look, a bull flag forming, where this is the stem right here. This goes across right here, and it's making higher lows right here, guys, right? Take a look at that. So now we're doing this. So for Monday, I'm thinking we're gonna, hopefully gap above this little bear flag. Now, if we see a move above or a gap up, obviously that 52-week high of 364 in the spider is going to be taken out, because we're so close already. We closed at 363. We're about a point above. So if we see that, guys, watch for a big move to the upside. Maybe not so much where we get to that upper Bollinger Band, guys, but maybe a nice big move and a consolidation in this whole new range where there's no sellers going to be, right? Because there's no one, we've never been this high before. So this is a really good sign. Again, watch these key levels. Now, if we do see a little bit of a gap lower on Monday, watch for that 10 SMA right here on the spider. See if that holds. If that doesn't hold, if we do get some bad news, watch obviously for that first line of support right here, that midpoint Bollinger Band, and then obviously that 50-day moving average. But I got a really good feeling that we're going to gap up and continue this nice, this nice trend that we're on in the last couple of weeks. All right, guys, that's the overall market in less than a minute. All right, guys, let's go into three stocks that look really, really good going into tomorrow. First one's called MX. A good friend of mine gave me this a while back, and it's looking now really, really good for a bigger move up. I'm going to show you why right here. First of all, Magnachip MX, okay? So as you can see, the one thing that I do like about this stock, all the moving averages, as you know, I love when the 10 is above the 50 and the 50 is above the 200. That's a really, really good sign. Every good-looking, uptrending stock has those moving averages all in that alignment, right? The 10 over the 50 and the 50 of the 200, and we have that. Now we're above this value area high in the daily. I really do like that too. It's setting up really nicely for a bigger move. So on Monday, again, watch for a break above that, of Friday's high right there. And then if that were the case, make sure you get into MX. I do want to bring this on two other charts real quickly. As you know, I do like cross-referencing all my picks with more than one indicator. So the next one's going to be that 513 EMA. The 5 has to be over the 13 unless there's some special case that I see, maybe a reversal or something like that. But the 5 EMA in this case is above the 13, so we're in a bullish a bullish trend right here, especially in the short term. And then lastly, and most importantly, that 9, the price is above that 9 SMA on the weekly right here, and we closed above that. Okay, guys? So that's very, very important too. Okay, that's MX looking really good. And then again on Friday, we will go over all our picks. All right, next stock that looks really promising going into Monday, had a really big spike near the end of the day, the truncated trading day on Friday, and that's TLRY right here. Again, this one, the moving averages are not aligned, so you could say, why are you, picking this stock? Well, first and most importantly, there's going to be a very, very important vote in the House, on Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, where they're going to see if they could pass the legalization of marijuana on a federal basis. So this is that impetus that we're looking at, and this is actually underperforming CGC, which is probably the big dog in this space. I want to bring that up real quickly. So we're actually buying a laggard in the name. I think it's underperforming, but I do still think that TLRY is a good company. So as you can see, CGC, this has a $10 billion market cap, and this has everything aligned perfectly. So you're probably, if you want, you can buy CGC. I kind of like TLRY a little bit better. I think it's underperformed. I think this has much more upside at this point. I think you'll see this one catch up. So this is why I'm playing TLRY instead. I think there's a lot of great things happening in this company. So if they do get that first initial vote in the House where they pass it, this one's really, really going to fly, okay, with a smaller $1.2 billion market cap, okay? That is TLRY. But again, I do want to show you a couple of other charts that look really good on this one. TLRY here, obviously, on the weekly. Let's zoom in so you can see it better. Price did close above that 9 SMA on the weekly, did take out last week's high, 2 positive signs. If you look at this jump right here, guys, this jump was pre-election with the anticipation of Biden-Harris winning, and they did, spiked up, and then earnings, the market didn't like the earnings, but it did hold that 9 SMA really nicely. And remember, guys, we have that important vote next week on the legalization of marijuana in the House, right? It has to pass the House first. Okay, so, and then lastly, let's look at that 513 EMA chart real quick. And yes, guys, the 5 EMA is above the 13 EMA, just barely. So your risk reward setup is perfect on this one. Again, be a buyer. Hopefully it doesn't gap up too much on Monday, but then set your stop right down here at 740. Okay, guys, that's where I have mine right there. Okay, that is TLRY. Last stock that looks really good going into Monday. This is one, again, I've played in the past. This is AQST, acquisitive. Again, it had the 5. The 10 is above the 50, and the 50 is above the 200. I do like when that 50, instead of having this downward trajectory, is more of an upward, but that can remedy itself by just basing here for a long enough time, and then you'll see this 50 curve up a little. I also do like that we're above this value area high right here of, let's call it 690, 692 right down here. We're peeking our head, so we have very little inventory above us, so there should be very little resistance going forward. And guys, take a look at this, and this is one that we've played in the past, and I drew this line so you can see it better where the resistance is. So you have these resistance points right here at that $7 mark where it came back, failed, then tried back here back in May, failed, and then it tried here, and then there was a little bit of resistance, broke through. This was the support when it finally broke through. It was support, and you can see this being support because then it started making a higher high. But then I think, it's kind of funny. This is where they had that CRL, that complete response letter, where the FDA had a problem with one of their cohorts in the trial, so it did gap down. They got the CRL based around here. Now, last week the FDA, the company announced that that they had a pathway to get their drug approved. So that's when we saw the gap. So now we're above that, that resistance support line of about $7. We just peeked our head. We closed at 705. So again, on Monday, watch for a break above this high of 711. That was Friday's high. I would be a buyer above that, and then use this 10 SMA right here as your guide. Okay, guys, this is a dynamic moving average, so use that as your guide going forward. Okay, that is AQST. But I do want to bring this up on two other charts real quickly. And as you know, I'm going to bring this first up on that 513 EMA chart, and look at this, guys. Since that gap down from that CRL from the FDA, we base, and then once we broke through here back in early November, it's been nonstop lights out, going, making higher highs. Again, we're peeking our head above that resistance support line of $7. We break above that with some decent volume, guys. I think we're going to be off to the races. And then again, lastly, are we above that 9 SMA? We're going to take a look at that real quick. All right, yes, we are, right? We did break above that 9 SMA on the weekly, so that's actually, again, a positive sign. So watch those key levels again on that on this name AQST. They got a lot of bad news behind us. That CRL. They came up. The FDA gave them a clear pathway to getting their drug approved. Let's see a break above $7 with some good volume with that, and then that'll become our support level. And going forward, this should be going a lot higher. That is AQST. So those are my three stocks. We'll come back on Friday. We'll see how those fared, and hopefully we'll have a good week like we had last week. Okay, guys. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. My name is Eric, and you could reach me by either leaving a comment down below in that comment section on YouTube, or by reaching out to me at eric@valueareatrader.com. And again, if you're just watching the show and you like the show, please go ahead and subscribe. I really do believe I provide a lot of valuable, technical information on stocks. Okay, guys. Again, my name is Eric. Have a great remainder of your weekend. We will see you on Monday tomorrow after the close. And remember to trade smart and be safe.